local news that matters. This is KLBK, bright and early.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on this Thursday, September 12th. I'm Sasha Wilson. Well, we are following breaking news overnight. A police chase ends with a car inside a house. It all started with a traffic stop, but police tell us the driver sped off. They eventually found the car crashed into this home near 29th Street and Parkway just after 1 a.m. No one was injured, and the major crash investigation unit was on the scene, but the driver took off running and was nowhere to be found. Investigators are still searching for him. Well, a baby is recovering from a gunshot wound after being shot in the middle of the night. Lubbock police tell us someone went to the victim's home near East 1st Street and MLK Boulevard around midnight Wednesday and started shooting at that house. That's when the one-year-old baby was hit. Now, the family took the baby to UMC to be treated. Fortunately, the baby is expected to be okay. Now, one neighbor who has lived in the neighborhood for more than 40 years says she woke up in a panic. She lives across the street and says her grandkids play in the front yard all the time.
My heart. It hurts my heart. You know, that child is innocent. I got grandkids, and like I say, I have grandkids in the summertime all day long. And my neighbors, they have grandkids. It's children that ride their little motorcycles and little hoverboards up and down the street. And in the summertime, sometimes they're outside late at night.
If you know anything about the shooting, call Crime Line at 741-1000. Well, a Slayton home was condemned and hours later went up in flames. The fire then spread to another house, leaving the one that was condemned as a loss. The Slayton Fire Department got that fire out about 2 hours. Fire officials tell us the people who lived there had been evicted. They say it's still too early to know what started the fire or if it's linked to any criminal activity. Well, in honor of 9/11, people from across the South Plains took time out of their day yesterday to pay respects and remember those we lost 18 years ago. The American Tribute Flag Field at Castman Park is dedicated to remember those who died in the September 11th attacks. This is the 17th consecutive year that the memorial has been on display. Fifth grade students from Jane Ann Miller Elementary helped to place flags on Monday.
So many flags. We've had a chance to talk to the kids about what those flags represent, and so it's an honor to see the kids get to participate, and almost kind of just takes you back, like, okay, remembering why you get to do it and that our kids get the chance to participate.
If you'd like a place to reflect this week, the flags will be proudly flying till next Monday. And city leaders in Tahoka honoring first responders and veterans as well. The city presented a new monument at the Linn County Court offices yesterday. Now, this monument is of an eagle with an American flag wrapped around it. The sculptors came all the way from Iowa to present the Eagle of Honor Veterans Memorial. The artists have created 12 other monuments, but this is the first one away from Iowa. The sculptors hope this could lead to other monuments in other cities as well. Well, before we head to break, Nick, what can we expect outside today?
Well, when you get the kids off to school, see temperatures into the upper 60s, 85 as you head home this afternoon. More details on the rain in the forecast coming up after the break.
You're watching KLBK, local news that matters, with Sasha Wilson and Chief Meteorologist Nick Cranach. This is KLBK, bright and early. Now, KLBK's first warning weather with Chief Meteorologist Nick Cranock.
Good morning. Starting things off with our TxDOT cameras over at Marsh Sharp and Slide. Starting already to see some vehicles headed out early, but hey, that's okay. People got to start the day early as we get closer to the end of the week. But you're looking at no issues traffic-wise, no issues weather-wise out there this morning. So that's always what you want to hear. So we're not going to see those problems as you head out to start your day. Now, you need coffee. Obviously, it's early. 71 your current temperature here in Lubbock. And if you are getting out to get some coffee, it's comfortable. It is muggy, but hey, it's only 71, so that's not too bad. Wind out of the south at 10 miles per hour. That'll help make things feel just a bit better as you start your day. Now, in terms of temperatures, into the 60s to the west. No 50s this morning. I know we had a run of a couple days there. It was wishful thinking. 68 in Morton, 67 Freona, Muleshoe, Littlefield, Levelland. Looks like 67 the lowest temperature out there at this time. The Toledo there at 67. 68 in Brownfield, 67 also in Seminole. And then as you look out to the eastern counties, still seeing those low 70s as expected. Turkey, Paducah, Guthrie, Jayton, all in the 70s out there this morning. And with the wind, it's feeling a bit better, but the higher temperatures are expected off the Caprock, and that's what we're looking at. Now, speaking of more coffee, you need it. No issues if you're heading out to work to get coffee, or if, you just want to sit outside or go to the local coffee shops. We'll drop to 68 by 7 a.m. just because some of the clouds are clearing. 70 by 8 a.m., back up to 72 by 9 o'clock this morning. So that is pretty good for September. And we stay in the 80s today. You can see we're going to get into the 80s by lunchtime. 82 degrees and climbing up to the mid, even upper 80s today. So it will be a warmer day today, but we are watching a cold front approaching from the north. So that will help to change things by tomorrow and into the weekend. As you see, most of the 3, 4, 5 o'clock hours up there into the upper 80s. So we'll actually be just a few degrees above average by this afternoon. And here's what we are looking at on the computer forecast, keeping that wind out of the south. Now, as this front approaches from the north, we won't expect to see any showers or storms across those northern counties until this evening, I'd say closer to 6 to 7 o'clock tonight. So here's our computer forecast. It's just a projection. I know there were some models calling for rain yesterday. We had a couple storms to the west, but as expected, it was only 10%. Those storms fizzle out pretty quickly as they move to the east. But with the front moving in, we'll get better coverage of showers and storms late tonight, closer to 10:30, 11 o'clock, and they will last through Friday morning, even though the computer forecast is not showing that. And then by tomorrow, you see 7:30 start of most high school football games. Cloudy skies. We don't expect any showers at that time. For Levelland, here's what you're looking at today, 90 degrees, but with the front, you drop to 81 tomorrow with showers and storms, 86 on Saturday. Over in Muleshoe, mostly sunny, 90 degrees today, 81 tomorrow with some scattered storms, 86 by Saturday. And for Plainview, mostly sunny today, 88. You drop to 79 for showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, 85 on Saturday. And then for Post, mostly sunny, 90 today, so that's your warm day, but you get showers and storms tomorrow, 84 in the morning, and then 89 degrees by Saturday afternoon. Now here's that 7-day forecast. Showers and thunderstorms only 10% today, later on in the evening. 87 your high temperature. 40% for showers and storms on Friday. 81 degrees, but that's just in the morning. We'll see things wrapping up pretty quickly by 9 to 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Mid-80s for highs over the weekend. And then as we head into next week, we're back above average into the upper 80s on Monday and Tuesday. 90 degrees by Wednesday. Well, September is National Preparedness Month, and in this week's Weather Ready Nation, we talked with experts who have seen their share of disasters.
When it comes to West Texas, we're very familiar with the devastation that follows tornadoes, flooding, and drought. While many of us think that these disasters will never strike in our backyard, it's still imperative for you to make a plan, because you never know when a disaster will impact you.
We're asking them to prepare for a very low probability but very high impact event.
One of the things you do when you make a plan is you think about everything that could happen. Then you think about things that will never happen. In the business world, we call those black swan events. Things that will never happen, but yet they do.
In any disaster, keeping up with the situation is critical, especially during a tornado, where you need to know what's happening in the moment.
Best is a hand crank radio, because then you don't have to worry about batteries discharging. You just crank it and then the batteries recharge themselves. When everything goes out, you can pick up the National Weather Service radio and they will have the information, even if everything in the area goes out.
Think about if you lost electricity, what would we have, what would we not have, and how could we get by as long as we could.
The loss of electricity would mean the loss of pumps for getting water. It is recommended that you have 3 gallons of water per day per person. Also, having cash on hand is important when debit and credit card readers won't work.
Keep in mind, we all like our cell phones and think they're going to come in handy, but a lot of times in disasters, you lose cell phone service and you can't charge your phone back up again. So having everything in your telephone isn't necessarily the answer, and saying, call me on my phone when you're safe, doesn't work.
Having a bag ready that you can take in the event of an evacuation is important. Remember any essential items you may need, like medications, batteries, a can opener, a first aid kit, and documentation.
Having identification is very, very important. A birth certificate, copies of your insurance policies, because if you're in a disaster and you have to go someplace to ask for help, a lot of those places will ask, prove that you live there, because it's terrible to say, but some people come in and try to take advantage of disasters and say they lived in the disaster area, but they came in from outside.
When something is happening, the first thing you worry about is yourself and your family, which can include having a plan for your pets.
So have a place to put the pet so they are contained, so when they go crazy with the weather, then they are safe and you're safe. Also, in your go bag, you should have some pet food, perhaps a toy to play with. Same thing with kids. You need toys and games for them to play, because if you happen to be there for 2 or 3 days, you have to have something to keep them occupied. Otherwise, tensions get tight and things just don't work out well when everybody's sitting around bored and they have nothing to do except worry about what's going to happen.
Reporting for Weather Ready Nation, Brandon Waits, KLBK News.
For more information, go to everythinglubbock.com, click on the Weather Ready tab. Still to come bright and early, Texas Tech Red Raiders have quite the challenge in front of them in their first road game of the season. Paul Tubbs has those details next in sports.
To lose, but wait.
Now, KLBK Sports Connection with Paul Tubbs.
And good morning to you. Big play potential of Arizona quarterback Khalil Tate will be staring the Texas Tech football team square in the face when the Red Raiders hit the field in Phoenix on Saturday night. In 2 games this season, Tate has passed for close to 500 yards and 5 TDs, along with rushing for over 120 yards. It's the run-pass option that has Texas Tech defensive coordinator Keith Patterson concerned, but the silver lining must be the turnovers. In the Wildcats' season-opening loss to Hawaii, Tate threw 2 interceptions, one at a critical point late in the game against Hawaii when the Wildcats just trailed by 3. It eventually led to a Warrior touchdown. The game time rush on the last play of the game by Tate came up a yard short. Part of what will keep Tate in check for Tech is continuing in that disciplined approach that Coach Wells and Coach Patterson have emphasized since arriving.
I mean, you can't be a disciplined defense if you can't get lined up and get in a stance. 70% of all big plays in Division 1A football come from a misalignment or a busted assignment. And it's not great execution by the offense. More times than not, it's the defense dismantling themselves just by something as simple as get the defensive call. You know, I mean, that sounds very elementary, but man, I mean, you put 60,000 people in the stadium and kids react different ways, and when it gets a little bit frantic down there, just something as simple as getting the defensive call, getting lined up, getting deployed, make sure our numbers are right, and we distribute the run and pass and try to outnumber them.
Another change for the Texas Tech tennis program is new men's coach Daniel White announcing the hiring of former standout Michael Breller as the new assistant men's coach. Breller played from 2005 to 2008, was one of the top singles and doubles players in the Big 12 at Tech. He was also an academic All-Big 12 and has been the head tennis coach at Cooper High School since 2015. And that's going to do it for your morning sports. Have a great day.
All right, in this morning's health news, more evidence of the mental health risks associated with social media.
Tom Hansen reports in this morning's Health Matters.
Adolescents who spend more than 3 hours a day using social media may be at a heightened risk for mental health problems. A Johns Hopkins study looked at more than 6,000 12 to 15-year-olds and found those who spent more than 3 hours on social media were more likely to report problems including depression, anxiety, and loneliness, as well as symptoms of aggression and antisocial behavior compared to adolescents who did not use social media. Heart attack patients take longer to get medical help when the symptoms present gradually. Researchers in Chicago found patients who had a slow onset of symptoms that gradually got worse took 8 hours to seek treatment. That's compared to less than 3 hours for patients with abrupt symptoms. Researchers say both situations require urgent help. And even before a diagnosis of dementia, people with mild cognitive impairment may have changes in the brain depending on the type of dementia. Researchers in Singapore say the differences could be used to track changes early in people who go on to develop Alzheimer's disease or other types of dementia. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
All right, we've got more news coming up right after the break.
honoring the men and women who've served our nation. 1,000 thanks.
Welcome back. A good pair of cowboy boots can be the pride of any Texan, but these are no ordinary boots. A local company is honoring the sacrifices many veterans make in true Texas fashion. Chris Gutierrez has the story behind Boots for Warriors.
It's done by hand, yes sir.
All good things take time.
A nice pair of boots from taking out your leather to putting it in the box ready to ship to the customer, you're probably looking 6 to 8 weeks.
And most good things come with sacrifice.
Something like this is something special.
The story behind these boots doesn't start in El Paso.
These are made out of a smooth ostrich.
The real story starts
just a little bit more
on a battlefield.
Thank you, sir.
In a remote desert.
Pick it up just a little bit. Yeah, there we go.
In Afghanistan.
Hope that foot doesn't stink.
We're going to do this standing up.
This is John Wayne.
Parents had a sense of humor.
Yes, that's his real name.
I was born on the 4th of July, so I'll say, as my dad quoted, had a cool birthday.
John is a proud Texan.
It's an identity.
And a very proud American.
It's got freedom written all over it, don't it? Today we're getting fitted for my pair of custom cowboy boots.
Everything custom.
Yep, this is the instep measurement.
Comes with a price.
The real foot is more difficult to fit in this case than the one the government gave him.
John Wayne lost his right leg protecting our freedom.
And it was a kill capture mission in the mountains of Afghanistan.
It was April 6th of 2008.
It was a 6.5-hour firefight where about 15 Americans went up against 250, Taliban fighters.
4 Americans were critically injured.
We had to come down from our location to where they were getting shot and initiated Operation Human Shield. We were to catch the bullets while the medic did his job, keeping them alive.
John was shot in the leg.
I fell forward, and then when I rolled over to assess the damage, my leg was just, the residual part of my leg was just hanging at a 45-degree angle, only by an inch of flesh.
Every American made it out alive.
The Medal of Honor was awarded, 9 Silver Stars was awarded, 8 Purple Hearts, and we won.
The battle didn't just cost John his leg.
All righty, there we go.
It also took part of his identity.
That's just something who we are. We wear cowboy boots. It's a Texas thing.
Boots going to come up to about right here.
But his prosthetic leg makes wearing boots nearly impossible.
You can't just go to Cavender's and buy a pair of Justins and, slip a boot on.
It's an issue.
We put a zipper all the way down the back.
That Johnny Yellock experienced as well.
But my legs are so custom that they require a custom boot to be able to use.
A roadside bomb left Johnny unable to walk.
That is all I can do with my feet. So I've had 31 surgeries to date to be able to keep my legs, and both of my ankles are fused, so my feet will never move again. They're fused at a 90 degree.
And that not-so-distant memory,
learning to walk again, learning to stand,
is now Johnny's motivation to help others.
When I look through it, it reminds me of how far I've come.
Johnny is executive director of Boots for Warriors.
This is the first boot.
A nonprofit that's teamed up with Olson Stelzer Boots to make free custom boots for wounded warriors.
There's a lot of personality in a boot.
Each veteran handpicks every detail.
For me, that's the most important thing. There's connection for life.
That's what it's all about.
What's the reaction you want him to have when he opens that box?
Wow.
John Wayne made the sacrifice.
This is awesome, man. I lost my leg wearing this insignia, so it means a lot to me.
And on this day,
this gives me some of my identity back, and it means the world to me.
A fitting reward.
Oh, yeah.
For an American hero.
Man, that looks good.
Awesome story there. Well, before we head to break, Nick has a quick preview of what we can expect outside today. Hey, Nick.
Well, hey, Sasha. Yeah, we'll look at clearing skies actually this morning. So drop to 68. We can take the kids to school. 85 at pickup time today. We have showers and thunderstorms to talk about in that forecast coming up bright and early.
Enjoy the best Lubbock has to offer. Eat and shop local, Lubbock.
local news that matters. This is KLBK, bright and early.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us here on KLBK Bright and Early. I'm Sasha Wilson.
I'm Nick Cranock. It is 6:30 on your Thursday, September 12th. Right at 6:30, actually. So, I know Gayle King loves that on CBS this morning. She loves hitting it right on. So we did it. So make Gayle King happy today. That's our goal in life, making Gayle King happy.
Right on 6:30, huh?
Right on 6:30.
Perfection
yes.
is the goal.
Yes. And perfection, this time of year, cooler weather and rain. So we check off the cooler weather, even though it's been muggy out there.
I would venture to say it's perfect weather.
I would too. Now, I would prefer 70s, but I know that's begging too much. Yeah. But we actually have a pretty good shot for a lot of places to see some rain, which we desperately need. We just have to wait. So it's dry out there this morning, as expected. Watching those clouds clearing off to the east this morning. So with the clearing clouds, we're expecting temperatures just to drop a few degrees as you head out and about. So we are at 71 in Lubbock, but that's going to drop a couple degrees by 8:15. You're in the mid-60s, upper 60s out to the west, low 70s out to the east. Of course, warmer air, highs closer to 90 degrees in the eastern counties today. So when you do take the kids to school, we're looking at 68 degrees. 80s this afternoon, in fact 85 near average, but we will talk about those showers and storms in detail in that forecast in just a few minutes, Sasha.
Thanks so much, Nick. Well, we are following breaking news. Overnight, a police chase ends with a car inside a house. It all started with a traffic stop, but police tell us the driver sped off. They eventually found the car crashed into this home near 29th Street at Parkway just after 1 this morning. Fortunately, no one was injured and the major crash investigation unit was on scene, but the driver ran and was nowhere to be found. Investigators are still searching for him. And a baby is recovering from a gunshot wound after being shot in the middle of the night. Lubbock police tell us someone went to the victim's home near East 1st Street and MLK Boulevard around midnight Wednesday and started shooting at the house. That's when the 1-year-old baby was hit. The family took the baby to UMC to be treated. Fortunately, the baby is expected to be okay. Now, one neighbor who has lived in the neighborhood for more than 40 years says she woke up in a panic. She lives across the street and says her grandkids play in the front yard all the time.
My heart. It hurts my heart. That child is innocent. I got grandkids, and like I say, I have grandkids in the summertime all day long. And my neighbors, they have grandkids. It's children that ride their little motorcycles and little hoverboards up and down the street. And in the summertime, sometimes they're outside late at night.
If you know anything about the shooting, call Crime Line at 741-1000. Well, a home in Slayton was condemned and shortly after ended up in flames. Our Leah Doherty went out to the fire and spoke to neighbors that say they feel safer now that house is gone.
My neighbor called me and he told me the crack-headed house, it catching fire.
Crews battling flames that broke out around 1 Wednesday afternoon, just hours after the home had been condemned. But neighbors say they see people coming and going from the house and are worried that this fire won't stop them from coming back.
I don't know if they're going to come and put a tarp and stay there again,
One neighbor says he believes drugs may be on the property and that police have been called to the area before, but it still continues.
I think we need more control in that city administration here in Slayton.
Slayton Fire says they're not exactly sure what caused this fire or if it's linked to any criminal activity. But neighbors tell me this isn't the first time this structure has caught fire. But as you can see, this time it's a total loss.
The east side building was on fire initially, and it just worked its way over across the carport to this other building on the west.
Slayton Fire says it took 2 hours to put out the fire, and thankfully, no one was injured.
Yeah, we'll stay here until everything's quit smoking, and then they're going to bring that backhoe in and try to clean up a little bit.
Leah Doherty, KLBK News.
Well, a Lubbock man agrees to a plea deal after being accused of stealing more than a dozen guns from a pawn shop. 20-year-old Zachary Gonzalez will serve no more than 10 years in prison. Now, back in July, police were called to the Cash American Pawn after the alarm went off. A police report shows someone broke in and took 14 guns. A few days later, they did catch Gonzalez. Well, a Lubbock man is rocking out again after his music equipment was stolen from his car. So he decided to team up with police to get it back. Our Emily Harrison caught up with the musicians to hear about their sting operation to get all his stolen equipment back.
I went into like Liam Neeson mode of like, I will find you.
Fire and brimstone. That's what musician Sam Choate is calling his new song in honor of the thieves that almost got away with stealing.
My fiance came by the house to get ready for work, and she woke me up in kind of a panic going, "Babe, I think somebody broke into your car last night."
His car doors were wide open, trunk ripped apart, and nearly $3,000 worth of equipment gone.
Just like that, you know, all of basically my livelihood can just be, you know, ripped out from underneath me.
Choate's unlocked car had been targeted, and while he was mad at himself for making an easy mistake, he says he couldn't let it go.
Lo and behold, Facebook Marketplace, like right there, is just it's a low res, just low quality group photo of all of my stuff, and I knew immediately that it was mine.
He says it was pretty hard to not recognize it.
Giant road case with my name on it.
Choate, along with fellow musician Drew Seipert, came up with a plan to get it all back.
So I messaged them, and of course they messaged me back, and I just tried to keep it going, tried to get as much information from them as possible, kept leading them on, and eventually it just kind of got to a point where they were like, "So when do you want to meet up?"
Seibert said 12:45, and on the dot, they showed up, but with police in tow, who arrested them.
The looks on their faces was like, it was like their souls left their bodies. It was absolutely epic.
Choate says he's learned his lesson about unlocked cars and having insurance, but says he also has a lesson for thieves.
Don't steal from musicians,
yeah,
you know, because we'll find you.
Emily Harrison, KLBK News.
All right, in national news this morning, the Supreme Court says the Trump administration can enforce new rules aimed at keeping many Central American migrants from seeking asylum in the U.S. The policy allows only migrants who have been denied asylum in another country or are victims of severe human trafficking to apply for asylum in the U.S. Well, the president is weighing in on the vaping amid an outbreak of lung ailments that many can be linked to e-cigarettes. As CBS News' Laura Podesta reports, President Trump is proposing a ban on flavors of any sort.
After several deaths and hundreds of breathing illnesses, the controversy surrounding vaping is getting political.
We have to find out the extent of the problem. It's so new. It's so new. But we're going to find out.
President Donald Trump says he wants thousands of flavors used in e-cigarettes banned so that kids don't get hooked on nicotine. Juul Labs, the preeminent e-cigarette retailer, pulled fruit-flavored nicotine pods from stores last fall, but still sells its popular mint flavor. In a statement, the company said, "We strongly agree with the need for aggressive category-wide action on flavored products." New data suggests more than 25% of high school students use e-cigarettes. In 2018, 68% reported using flavors like bubblegum and cotton candy. The president said he was looking out for a new generation, which includes his 13-year-old son, Barron.
And that's how the First Lady got involved. She's got a son together that is a beautiful young man, and she feels very, very strongly about it.
The Food and Drug Administration says it will begin developing guidelines to remove all e-cigarette flavors except tobacco from the market. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
It was announced today that Juul has entered the e-commerce market in China. That country is the world's largest single market for tobacco consumption, with over 300 million smokers, according to Reuters. And other national headlines this morning: 10 leading Democratic candidates for president are set to debate Thursday night in Houston. Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, and six others will square off in the party's third 2020 debate. Well, law enforcement officers and first responders who were hurt or killed in the line of duty were honored at the state capitol. Yesterday, Governor Greg Abbott recognized 50 people with a Star of Texas Award. The award was created in 2003 and is bestowed on Texas First Responders Day, which coincides with the anniversary of the attacks on September 11, 2001. The 50 honorees were from local, state, and federal agencies.
You never know when tragedy may strike. You never know what unexpected event could occur that puts your life on the line, that puts the lives of others on the line. That is what makes you genuine heroes.
Governor Abbott also referenced what he called heroism shown by our first responders, by our firefighters, and by our law enforcement in the aftermath of the deadly mass shootings in El Paso and Odessa last month. And in honor of 9/11, people from across the South Plains took time out of their day yesterday to pay respects and remember those we lost 18 years ago. The American Tribute Flag Field at Castman Park is dedicated to remember those who died in the September 11th attack. This is the 17th consecutive year that the memorial has been on display. Fifth grade students from Jane Ann Miller Elementary helped to place flags on Monday.
So many flags. We've had a chance to talk to the kids about what those flags represent, and so it's an honor to see the kids get to participate, and almost kind of just takes you back, like, okay, remembering why you get to do it and that our kids get the chance to participate.
If you'd like a place to reflect this week, the flags will be proudly flying till next Monday. And city leaders in Tahoka honoring first responders and veterans as well. The city presented a new monument at the Linn County Court offices yesterday. Now, the monument is of an eagle with an American flag wrapped around it. The sculptors came all the way from Iowa to present the Eagle of Honor Veterans Memorial. The artists have created 12 other monuments, but this one is the first one away from Iowa. Sculptors hope this could lead to other monuments in other cities as well. Looking ahead this morning, Big Brothers Big Sisters is hosting their annual Bowl for Kids' Sake event this weekend. All proceeds remain local and benefit children directly on the South Plains. And also this Saturday, the American Diabetes Association is inviting you out to join them in the Step Out Walk to Stop Diabetes. It begins at 8 in the morning at the Moonlight Musicals stage. This walk will benefit Camp No Low High, a summer camp for children with diabetes. And parents, today is your last chance to sign up for a garage sale for kids by kids. The Hodges Community Center is hosting the kids-only sale this weekend. It's $5 per booth and registration is due at noon today. Online at playlubbock.com. The center is at 41st and University. And in consumer news this morning, how much do you tip? A new study finds it can depend on who you are. Mark Liverman explains.
Everyone has their own rules when it comes to tipping.
Generally, I do 18 to 20%.
It's normally 15 to 20% as a tip, as a mandatory.
Service is bad, maybe like 10%.
A new study finds some people are more generous than others. Ted Rossman is with creditcards.com.
We found that in general, men and millennials are the worst tippers, which means that women and baby boomers, generally speaking, are better tippers.
And who gets a tip varies greatly. 77% of all people surveyed say they always leave something for servers at a restaurant. But the numbers drop with food delivery people, hairdressers, and taxi and rideshare drivers. Only about 1 out of 4 people tip hotel housekeepers and coffee shop baristas. Joseph Frieza almost always gives extra.
It's got to be really bad service for me not to leave a tip. The guy's got to throw the food at you before I won't leave a tip.
Brandon Begg says it depends.
If the service is bad, what will you do then? I'll leave a small amount of tip or no tip at all.
Here's a general rule of thumb. If somebody's making things easier for you, they're going out of their way to do something nice for you, I would feel compelled to give them a little something. And I think in particular, if this is somebody that you're interacting with regularly, that's all the better.
Rossman says that can lead to better service. Mark Liverman, CBS News, New York.
Well, even though millennials are less likely to give a tip, the study found that when they do tip, they leave a higher percentage. All right, before we head to break, Nick has a preview of our forecast today. Hey, Nick.
Well, Sasha, I like when they actually give you the percentage and how much the dollar amount is, so I don't have to break out the calculator. But anyway, you don't have to break out the calculator today. 68 when you take the kids to school, 85 when they head home. More details on rain in our forecast coming up, but here's our Lubbock ISD lunch menus. For today, you can have beef soft tacos,
sandwich,
or fruit and cheese platter. We'll be right back.
You're watching KLBK, local news that matters, with Sasha Wilson and Chief Meteorologist Nick Cranach. This is KLBK Bright and Early. Now, KLBK's first warning weather with Chief Meteorologist Nick Cranock.
Good morning. Starting things off as we look at our TxDOT cameras this morning. Marshall Sharp and Slide. Not looking too crazy out there, so if you are traveling on the Marshall Sharp Freeway this morning, yeah, we're getting some people headed out, but they're moving along. It's not backed up, and that is exactly what you want to see. In terms of temperatures out there, 66 for you in Loveland, 65 in Littlefield, upper 60s, basically for everyone else along the state line with the exception of Freona at 65. Lubbock at 71, but we'll drop a few degrees here by 8 to 8:15 this morning. Low 70s right now out from Jayton, Guthrie, Paducah, Turkey, Matador, and Spur. So those areas are always, including Post, seeing those higher temperatures in the morning hours. Here's what we're looking at today. There will be some changes occurring, just not quite in Lubbock just yet. A cold front is coming into the northern counties this late afternoon, early evening. That will spark off a few showers and storms. But for Lubbock during the day, you see from 1 o'clock through 5 o'clock, we're staying dry. We're going to see mostly sunny skies and light wind. So you'll notice again it's muggy. So as we get to the mid and upper 80s today, it'll feel like you're in the 90s, but it could be worse. We all know that. We don't want it, but you know, it's something you have to talk about in West Texas, how warm it is usually. But we actually get the mugginess, the moisture out there today, which is something we usually don't see. So that's just one thing that the last several days haven't been used to. It feels like we live along the coast. But we will get these shower storms later today. Here's how things look by basically 5 o'clock here this evening. Not expecting too much as that front approaches the northern counties. But later tonight, as the front moves south, it'll stall somewhere north of Lubbock. Obviously, we don't know the exact location yet. The front's going to do what it wants to do. But it's going to stall across the north, so moisture stays ahead of that front. We'll expect some showers and storms late tonight, specifically from 7 to midnight. We'll see that in the area. And then just after midnight to the early morning hours as well at 40% during the morning on Friday. But Friday afternoon is dry, including 7:30. A lot of high school football games going on. They either start at 7 or 7:30 tomorrow night. So we will see dry conditions. It's trying to give a shower over there into Garza County. Wouldn't expect that to happen because the front's going to lift north, so it's taking the moisture with it. So we're going to expect dry conditions out there for your high school football games on Friday. And then, of course, on Saturday, still wind out of the south. We'll actually see lower high temperatures. Now, speaking of football, high school games actually get going tonight. Odessa High in town to take on Coronado at 7 o'clock. Yes, it'll be warmer today. You'll see 86 degrees at kickoff, staying dry through the duration of that game. And then tomorrow, 78 degrees kickoff for Cooper and Friendship out in Wolfforth. And then at 7:30 kickoff for Roosevelt and Post down in Garza County, 81 degrees. You'll see the clouds still hanging on just because they'll take some time to clear out tomorrow. So here's our 7-day forecast. Lubbock, mostly sunny skies out there today, 87 degrees, right on average. Isolated shower storm at 10%. That picks up to 40% by midnight through the early morning hours on Friday, and we're clearing out by the morning rush. So we'll see drier air and lower temperatures. 81 your high temperature tomorrow. Mid-80s this weekend. Mostly sunny skies with dry conditions. And then upper 80s Monday and Tuesday. And we'll stay above average Tuesday and even increase the temperature to 90 degrees by Wednesday. So looks like we'll get some welcome rain in the area, especially for our central and northern counties tonight. And then things dry out by early next week.
Now, KLBK's Issues on the Line with Wade Wilkes, host of The Wade Wilkes Show, weekday mornings on KRFE AM 580, sponsored by Wilkes Media.
Good morning, Wade Wilkes. How are you on this Thursday morning?
I am doing good. Hope you're having a great Thursday.
We are. Thank you so much. What do you have going on the show today?
Today, Thursday, well, we'll preview the Democrat primary that's going to be televised tonight, I believe, on ABC. We'll take a look at that and talk about what it is that the platform that they will be discussing. I think mainly banning guns, of course, universal health care, universal basic income, the list goes on, but we'll talk about that and see if our predictions are correct for tonight's debate. So we'll take a look at it after 7 o'clock this morning. As always, welcome your telephone calls and comments into the show. You can certainly do that at 806-745-5800. All right there on AM 580, guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Wade, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Have a wonderful Thursday.
You as well. We have some local birthday announcements. A very happy birthday to Nicole Turner from your daughter Linda Jewell, mom Ruby, and sister Sarah.
And we also want to say happy birthday today to Donna Wilson.
And don't forget, you can get your birthday on air too. Just send an email to birthdays@klbk.com.
Yeah, tell us who it's for, who it's from, how old they are, when you want it to air. That email is birthdays@klbk.com.
Okay, how are the roads looking this morning, Nick?
Looking pretty good. Smooth traffic out there, Marsh Sharp and Slide, no problems as traffic begins to increase this morning. So take it easy anyway, but you're not going to see any backups or delays. We'll be right back.